YouTube. Where did I go wrong? I mean, really, where did I go wrong? I thought I was a good father. I thought I raised my boy right. Why? Why in the world did my boy become a Cowboys fan? Damn! I don't understand it. I thought I raised the boy right. And he grows up and becomes a Cowboys fan. I can't get him back to go green.
What are you doing to me? Come out! What do you mean, no?
Yo, squash that. I love you, son. Fly, birds, fly. Hey, how you feel, son?
I'm thinking
How you
about
feel, son?
It's
How you feel?
okay.
Hey, you gonna sit down?
We see y'all win. Christmas. Okay. You already know how we roll.
It's gonna be a quiet ride home for the Cowboys.
So guess what? Since the Cowboys lost, we back to baseball.
It's gonna be a quiet ride home for the Cowboys.
I don't care about none of that. When it comes to the World Series, man, listen, man. My Phillies going to World Series, we're beating the Padres.
Don't talk about the Phillies. No. Don't talk about the Phillies right now.
I like the Phillies now.
Oh, you see what he doing? I love my Phillies.
Don't do that. What?
Don't deflect.
I said, man, I took my L. I been took my L. I took my L on camera. I took my L for all them.
No.
I took my L. It don't even
What you
matter.
say? Till 0-0?
Till 0-0.
It ain't 0-0 yet?
Till 0-0.
Ain't 0-0 yet?
Till 0-0.
Yep.
It don't matter.
Don't talk about the Phillies now. Don't talk about the Phillies.
Listen.
Listen to what's going on right now. Yo,
We losing. The game ain't over, but we losing. Don't look like we going to win.
Take your horses. Take yourselves.
Surprises are here to come, but it don't seem like it's going to be any.
It's over. We the best, baby. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to start off making my first line. It's going to be a contoured ball line. That just simply means I'm going around the shape of the head. Now, for the beginners, you don't want to use trimmers to make this ball line. Only if you're more experienced. It makes it harder to get the line out when using your trimmers. I personally like to do it because it makes the line cleaner. And I also know how to get the line out. Okay, right here, as you can see, I flip my trimmers over and I begin going against the grain. Going against the grain simply means cutting the opposite way the hair grows. And I'm gonna finish balding out the nape and sides areas. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this, but I prefer to do this. I like to use my shavers. I flip it over. This shaver happens to have 2 blades on it, so I flip it over just to use one blade, but I like to do this to make this area a lot more cleaner and make the fade look cleaner. Now I'm going to go with my one guard closed, and I'm going with the grain just to take out some of the bulk. Now I'm creating my second line, and I like to use a method called the feathering method. So I'm basically flicking very lightly just so I won't create a hard line, so that way when I go to clean up the fade, it'll be a lot easier to clean up. So soon here you're going to notice that I'm going to turn my clipper sideways. Sometimes you have to do that because the hair grows differently. It doesn't always grow up and down. Sometimes it grows sideways, sometimes it grows back. So you have to turn the clippers accordingly to be able to go against the grain. Right here, I'm gonna go with my one guard open, and the reason for that is I'm not only just debulking, but I'm also starting the process of taking out that second line. Now, if you notice, I left the edge of his hairline a little darker, and that's because I want that area to be really detailed by the time I line them up. Now, with the one guard, I've closed my lever all the way to completely take out that second line. As you can see, the blend is starting to unfold. Now, I wasn't happy with the results I was getting with the one guard, so I switched it up a little bit and I put on my half guard. And I have it right now, I have it closed all the way, but I'm going to go back and forth, close, open, to get the blend that I'm looking for. And the reason I noticed this is because I looked back at my mirror, which is one of my most important tools in my arsenal. You can't always see everything with your naked eye, so it's always good to look back at your mirror. And I'm using my half guard at the parietal ridge area. That area is the area between the crown of your head and the side of the head. And I'm using this to help me take out even more bulk at that very edge. Here I'm beginning to take out that first line by closing my clipper all the way. I'm just flicking away, using my clipper as an eraser. Also, I'm adjusting my clipper up and down as I begin the cleanup process. So I'm basically just taking out the dark lines to create that transition in the fade to make it look smoother. Here I'm getting into even more detailed work. I'm doing my cleanup. I have my clipper set here halfway, and I'm taking out any dark lines that I see, any small dark lines. This is why I have the camera close up, so you can actually see me taking out those dark lines. Now going back to what I started with in the beginning, and I'm using my trimmer to erase that bottom line. Now really look closely in this area as I prepare for the lineup. Right there in the front, he has what you call a colic. So notice the hair is growing sideways instead of growing down. Right here I'm beginning to line up. I'm going to start from the center, work my way to the sides near the corners. Now you don't want to dig in with the clippers because you can cause to open the skin. Also the clippers won't perform as well. Also I'm using the edge of the trimmers because the edge of the trimmers are the sharpest part of the trimmers. Now here my client asked me to fade out his sideburns. So everything I did on the head, I'm doing in reverse with the sideburns. Now notice here I'm using my thumb to stretch the skin. That's going to cause the hairs to raise and I can be able to catch those smaller hairs. The infamous enhancements. So I'm using Zay's air compressor for my enhancements. I'm just gonna spray the edges of that lineup just to give it a defined look. And it's gonna make that hairline pop. Here I like to go back and go into detail with my lineup to give it that extra crispy look. And pretty much what my slogan says, sharp is the only option. Alright you guys, this is the finished cut. If you like what you saw here today, give me a like, hit the subscribe button. You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at RNXT18. Also, if you want to book me in the Philly area, you can find me on Booksy as RCCrispyCutz. This is your boy RC Crispy, and I'll see y'all next time. Salute.